All right. Hey, let's see if we're live. And we'll get to work. So let's go to my channel, check on my live stream. It says Spellpoint Sorcerers. It looks like I can see my face and here looks like my voice. All right, cool. So that means we're up and running. Great. Let me do some social media postings real quick to say that I'm live real quick so we can jump in some people. And then we're going to be working on Spellpoint Sorcerers today. So this is the 4th episode of us working on this. The last time we touched base with it was in September. So we've already gone through 2024 Sorcerer scaffolding. I'm going to go back and visit that right quick to make sure that everything is still aligned. Because I think the spell supply we get for the prepared is a little shy. So I think I want to boost that up a bit. But I need to spend just a few minutes on looking at that, and then we'll go through the subclass options that are in the Player's Handbook 2024. If we're able to get done with that efficiently today, then we will continue sculpting the meta magic options that you can select from. So we are almost there. Let me go ahead and just tell you about myself. My name is Theurgy. What's up? I create role-playing games. I illustrate them and I publish them online. And I'm a big MTG enthusiast. Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering and D&D. The same company owns them both. That's awesome. Except for when they started publishing Magic the Gathering content for Dungeons and Dragons, they kept the Vancian magic system of the 8 schools and spell slots instead of building a 5-color mana system that is existing in Magic the Gathering. They have a, in my opinion, sloppy spell point system that was in the Dungeon Master's Guide 2014, but I think they trimmed that out so that they could provide a glossary instead. So there are no official rules for spell points in 2024, which means that we may reign supreme yet, and that would be great for the community because the spell point system is far better whether you use color mana or you just leave it system new, like universal spell points to continue using the 8 schools of magic if that's what you prefer. 8 schools, 5 colors, 4 elements, 3 bodies, and 2 sides. Those are the 5 types of paradigms that can exist inside of the system. You might be able to find like a 6-facet system, but I don't know yet of any paradigms that have 6 points in them other than your ability scores themselves in the D&D game construction. But that's not a way to theme magic around. I could see how you could, but I really don't want to. That's not the. I'm not doing. This is not about ability check spell casting. Which, you know, if you had strength spells, then obviously you'd make a strength check to see if you succeed at casting a spell or not. But that is a deviant of D20 game mechanics that we are not currently exploring. So, but I've been a DM for Dungeons and Dragons since 1987 with box set and first edition. I've been a Magic the Gathering enthusiast since like late '95. I've been a freelance illustrator since '99, and I've been creating content on the DMsGuild since 2017 when the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica published. There was no color magic information there, so that's why I decided to start getting involved in game design, because I had a color mana system. It's just, you know, we never saw anything come from WotC, so I just decided to go ahead and publish it. So there you go. So I'm on the X Twitter platform at Phil Kearney. If you're on the X Twitter platform, you are welcome to catch up with me here. The illustrations that I publish as teasers for an episode, coupons, early looks, works in progress, all of the stuff that I'm doing, you can catch it here on the X Twitter platform if you're there. Otherwise, here, like, subscribe. Holy shit. Hey, thanks for the new subscribers, guys. I really appreciate people taking an interest in the work that we're doing here. Hopefully some of you guys can participate in the playtesting that we got coming up next month. So drop into my Discord channel to get access to that stuff. I'd love to have you. And if you want to have a guaranteed seat, well, not guaranteed, but the first 5 people are pretty much guaranteed. And if they're coming out of my Patreon, I won't bump them. So if you're at least a $1 subscriber to Patreon, I'll be posting this week what the possible hours are for us to do playtesting. And if you're interested, if you're a paying Patreon, I will attempt to accommodate you in every way possible. So like, subscribe, bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Here's a full playlist of the martial power system that we've been developing and the color mana mechanics that we've been developing, and just Magic the Gathering D&D conversion stuff in general. So I kind of have 3 playlists going of different live streams that we've done involving this stuff. Discord community is here. Early access to stuff, Patreon here, Twitter feed. We talked about it at Phil Kearney already. And here's a bunch of books that I've created on the DMs Guild already. So, having gotten that out of the way, let's go to D&D Beyond. Let's peel open our game rules for classes. When we last left off, we were looking at this. This document is so old, I hadn't figured out the 16:9 ratio yet. So this is still using an 8.5 by 11 with a 10-point font. But if I'm going to go with this this tablet formatting for PDFs, I have a lot more space to play with inside of here. But I want to go back down to the Sorcerer. I want to look at the spell list selection that they have, because I've been giving all of the spellcasters a blanket 23 spells across the 20 levels. So, yeah. But the Sorcerer has meta magic, which adds on to the number of things that they can do. So 2 prepared levels at level 1, and it ramps. It goes to, we get 2 sort. We get. I have to look at the font of magic and meta magic shit. So hold on real quick. Let's stack through this here. So we get up to 22 here, and then we get the meta magics. So let's go down here and find out when we gain meta magics, because I don't remember. Spell slots, blah blah blah. Meta magic. Magic yes, the number of sorcery points it costs. Whenever you can use sorcery points whenever you gain a sorcery level. You can replace one of your meta magic options with one you don't know. You gain 2 more options at 10 and 2 at 17. But what we get 2? You gain 2 meta magics. 2 at 2nd, 2 at 10th, and 2 at 17. Is that right? Yeah. So we pushed meta magic forward to. Oh yeah, it's still in second. It's still in second. Okay, cool. So let's see. Here's our smooth, our relatively smooth curve. 2, 4, 6, 8. So we have. Why does that feel so weird? Something feels weird about that. Hold on. I need to visit Marshall Power's book real quick. Just grab this here. Drop down to the end of the document where we are playing these classes. 4 prepared spells. 4. Is that real? Hold on. Something feels super wonky right now. Prepared spells. Okay, let's check in, because something isn't clicking in my brain correctly right now. Classes. Let's go to the Bard and see how many spells he starts with. Yeah, he starts with 4 prepared spells. And the Druid starts with 4 prepared spells. And the Cleric starts with 4 prepared spells. The Wizard starts with 4 prepared spells. The Warlock starts with 2 prepared spells. And the Sorcerer, fuck you, starts with 2 prepared spells. Huh. 22. Let's see. Wild Shape, Cantrips, Max Spell. Okay, well, I mean, okay. I can fix this. does has more cantrips than anyone else, though. So I can see the logic. Yeah, 2 and 4, 3 and 4, 2 and 4. The sorcerer has 4 and 2. Let's go back. Let's go back and look at the Warlock again, real quick. Is it 2 and 2 for the Warlock? Yeah, 2 and 2. Huh. Four cantrips, yeah. Okay, well, hey, that makes sense. Let's see. I don't need this tab right now. Off to a rough start here, folks. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to make sure life works. Hey, Dungeons. What is going on, Chronic? So they get 4 and 2. So the way that we're building spell point sorcerers is we're integrating sorcery into their mana pool. Since they have a mana pool, so the way that basic mana structure works in this game, and let's go down and visit one of my books online here. Let's go to the color mana system, and let's go to the core mechanics and pop this open. Okay, so the way that we currently have it structured is full casters, third casters like Eldritch Knights, Arcane Tricksters. There's half casters, Paladins, Artificers, and Rangers. And there's full casters, which are all the full casters. So when we get down to it, on a long rest, full casters end with 80 mana at 20th level. A half caster ends with 40 mana at 20th level, and a Eldritch Knight Arcane Trickster has 20 mana at 20th level. And then the Martial Powers book, all the martial classes get 20 mana on a short rest. Monk gets 20 mana on a short rest, and the Warlock gets 20 mana on a short rest. So classes generally only get anywhere from 20, 40, or 80 mana, and you know it scales up. So, but the sorcerer gets sorcery points, and so you'll get 20 sorcery points over 20 levels plus the 80 mana. That means that the sorcerer in this system, we still have the sorcery points separated in the original color mana system because our goal was to very much minimalize how much we were changing the rules in 2014. But after 7 years, I think I'm going to be bold and say I know better now, and You can check out all these books on your own time if you want here on this 5 color mana list here. They're all free preview just like this. But you know, if you buy them, you're supporting me, and you get all like the playmat, the mana tokens, and all that other stuff. Plus like the full spell list instead of just the spells that are in the player's handbook. So there are reasons to buy this stuff. But if you just want to get the gist of how this system works in general, you can just look at all the free samples of all this stuff. But but since the sorcerer has sorcery points, and those sorcery points plus their normal mana pool would be 100 points, we restructured the mana pool so that they would have all 100. Just, you know, we just distributed it basically. We just added 1 point per level on top of what they would normally get otherwise. So that's how we got the 3 points at first level as opposed to like say 2 points. And they have the 2 prepared spells. So we have Meta Magic Clip In at second level, so I'm okay with them starting with sorcery points at first level because it's all just mana now, right? So it doesn't really matter. So we start them off casting more spells. They have less spells, but they can cast more spells per day than anyone else. All the spells, all the casters generally have landed at 23 mana, and so that would be why is that invisible? Is weird. Let's take this whole column here. No, just I said the column, not the whole table. Let's just grab this column, and let's make sure everybody is centered. Thank you. So we're going to restructure this. what is going on with this font? I just don't. Hold on. We're going to go with no color. We're going to go with font over here is automatic. Why do I not? Okay, I've got a font color over here. 19. This is very quickly becoming a pain in the ass. All right, 18, 17, thank God, 6. Oh, the world. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then this would be 4. So that gives me like 23 curve. But all the full casters have been getting 23. It's because I evened them out. So we're going to go with prepared as here is 2. And it would go to 3. Like using all the other progressions that we have is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it goes up to 23. But the sorcerer gets 2 meta magics at second level, so instead of 3, it gets 5, and that's going to skew the rest of the count, the rest of the progression. So 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and at 10th level they get 2 more. 12, 13. So instead of 14, they have 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 22. And here we are at 17 instead of 23. They have 25, 26, 27, 28. So that's how it curves out right now. Do I want to smooth that curve? Start with 2. If I gave them 3 spells at first level instead, they still have less than everyone else. But 3, 5. So we jump by 2. We jump by 2. We jump 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 28, 27, 26, 25. Let's see if we just do this. 23, 22, 21, 20. We're playing with math, so this is what we're going to be doing for a bit. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Okay, so obviously there's a disparity here. So let's go 3, 5, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, maybe that is the proper way. Three, 5, 6. Let's try doing it this way. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24. Get out of here. 25. Does that jive? Does that jive? 22, 23. So we give them one more spell at first level than they would get. They get one less spell in meta magic than they would otherwise have. So am I okay with that? Signs point to yes. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. Am I okay with that? I mean, there's no other real smooth way to build the progression. I like them gaining spells every level. So the way that works is that you can have any number of spell, like the prepared spells, you can have any mix of spells or meta magic. You can have as many as you want of meta magic. You're not limited on your meta magic. You're just going to spend mana on it anyway. The reason, a good reason for them to curb how much meta magic you have with the system that they currently have, because at second level you only get 2 sorcery points. It's like, what are you going to fucking spend them on, right? But if we do it this way, at second level, they already have 7 mana, and they can have up to 5 spells, or it could be a cantrip and 5 meta magics. So all you're doing is modifying your cantrips by spending sorcery points on your cantrips. You could do that. You could do a chain gun style type character that works that way. Or you like pick up 1 spell and have 4 meta magic feats to modify your cantrips, or you have 4 spell, or you have you have all spells and no meta magic. Maybe you don't want meta magic yet because you feel like you don't have enough of a battery to worry about it. But as you gain levels, you can swap your spells, including your sorcery points. And I like to work it that every time you gain a level, you can swap out all of your spells. I just think that makes sense because like prepared like the wizard, the cleric, and the druid that like gain their spells, like prepare their spells on a daily basis. They can swap all of their spells every day. I think it should either be that other guys like this, they can either switch 1 spell per day, and then they can switch all of their spells when they gain a level. I just think that's a good way to do it. So since anyone can, since you know why is the wizard so much better than the sorcerer? That the flavor isn't there. There's not enough mechanical difference between the two that there's not enough advantages in the player's handbook for the sorcerer to get nerfed so hard as to not be able to change their spell repertoire. They frame it as it's like blood magic, and it's like it comes up naturally. You're not studied, you're not rotating stuff, but it makes your character static. Like the sorcerer having meta magic does not compensate for the fact that a wizard can swap all 23 of their spells whenever they take a long rest. It's not equal compensation in power. And there's nothing about the sorcerer's budget that makes them stronger than the wizard that says you don't get to swap all your spells when you finish a long rest. But what we're doing with this system does give them more flexibility and actual power and choice and diversity. And for us to be able to maintain that diverse choice, we need to allow them to be able to switch out spells gradually over time, and to be able to do big changes when they gain levels. So, because like when you go from level 7, like when you go from level 8 to 9, when you get those 5th level spells, that can completely change the structure of how you want your character to interact with your team. But if you only get to swap 1 spell, it's going to be like 6 levels from now. You can finally do the stuff that you wanted to be able to do at this level, but you couldn't, because you were being bottlenecked by only being able to change 1 spell when you change a level. I personally think that's not good design. Obviously, my philosophy about character progression is different from the world's most popular role-playing game. So consider all this stuff an option, because it's all options anyway. So we're going to start with 3, which is less spells than others, but it quickly ramps so you have more than others, but that takes the meta magic into account. Bob's your uncle. So let's go back to the list here. We had a hard cap at 6, and I wanted to say, fuck you, let's give you more meta magic. So 3 level gain, and then from 4 to 6, that's 6 levels. 4, 6, and then what? 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 levels, 6 levels, 9 levels, and that's why we're at 19. I get it. 3, 6, 9. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. And then we talked about before the 10th level spell slot, which is Wish. Wish is the only 10th level spell in the game using this system, though you can upcast anything to 10th level at 19th level with 10 mana. It's 1 mana equals 1 point. Sorcery points can stack on top of that. You can see your maximum sorcery here, which is the amount of mana that you can spend on top of your spell casting into metamagics. So at 17th level, it's basically a half casting progression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 2, 5, 9, 13, 17. So at 17th level, when we're at 5, that means you can spend, like, you can cast a 9th level spell for 9 mana, and you can spend 5 points on metamagic. And so when we go down here and look at the metamagic, we have metamagic that costs 1 point, metamagic that costs 2 points, 3 points, and 4 points. If you're familiar with the martial power system that I've been designing here on stream for the past year, you know that I have stacking sustained effects. You can stack up to 5 mana worth of effects, 5 first-ranked mana effects, or 1 5th level mana effect. You have a total of 5 at 17 to spend as you please among your different, basically among your sustained slots. Here with this, it's the same thing. Up to 5 mana, you can combine any amount of metamagic to modify your spell. So if you want to use a entangling spell with a metamagic of 2, so when you cast a spell that deals damage, all creatures affected must make a dexterity saving throw or are restrained. They can make an additional saving throw at the end of their turn. These are, I already see ways to change that, but that costs 2 to be able to entangle people with a spell. Like if I throw a fireball, at the end of it, you're entangled as well. And then I can stack that on top of, like, expanded spell. When you cast a spell with an area of effect, double the distance from the origin of the area. It's like this entangling spell mixed with its expanded spell means I can entangle, or I can restrain a shitload of targets. But it's going to cost me 5 extra mana to do it on top of, like, say, the fireball that I throw at them. So I lob a 3rd level fireball, I expand it so it's a 40-foot radius, and then I entangle on top of it. Now everyone that gets caught inside of that fireball is going to be restrained on top of taking the damage. I had to spend 8 mana to do that. That's a pretty good effect for 8 mana. So most of these are coming from 3rd edition, which I used extensively for years, from level 1 to 32. I think I played, I played 3rd edition for 12 years. No, yeah, 12 years. And then I switched over to Cypher system for a couple years. And then I got into 5th edition D&D. So I've had extensive experience with stacking metamagic effects like this on sorcerers in 3rd level, and these sorcerers are arguably more restrained than what the 3rd edition sorcerers were. But that system worked really, really well. So this system also works. I just gotta hammer out the language specifically. Like, I'm not gonna make it like everyone in a circle. I'll probably do like the careful spell. Let's look at careful spell. As a 1st level. That's a 1st level effect. Careful spell. When you cast a spell that affect other creatures that you can see, you can spend 1 mana to choose a number of them up to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1 creature. A chosen creature automatically succeeds on its saving throw against the spell, and it takes no damage if it would normally take half damage on a successful save. So you spend 1 point and you can shield a number of allies equal to your charisma modifier. To choose a number of them. So we're going to copy here. We're going to drop down here. When you cast a spell that deals damage, choose a number of creatures affected up to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1. A chosen creature
must make a dexterity saving throw or are restrained. They can make an additional saving throw at the end of their turn.
See, there. Now we've structured it so whatever your charisma modifier is, even though I'm going to expand that fireball out to 40 radius with the expanded spell, it's still going to operate. We now have a cap on how many targets you can affect. That stays in curve with what the game mechanics for the sorcerer already is about number of targets equals your charisma modifier. So those are the kind of things that we need to modify in here, like find those little pieces to make the system lock in really well. So there's that. So I mean that's a quick crash course on meta magic. So and you can't learn a second rank, like you can't gain meta magic 2 until your 5th level. You can't get meta magic 3 until you're 9th. You can't get meta magic 4 until your 13th level. Scaling with the amount of mana that you can spend on a meta magic. So at 13th level, you can spend 4 mana on meta magic. So you can maximize the spell. And what that does is when you cast a spell that deals damage, instead of rolling dice to determine the total, the spell deals maximum damage. In our martial powers system, that's called assassinating damage, which is when you hit somebody, you can spend 4 points and you deal maximum damage with your attack. So it's expensive, but when you're really cranking out, like when you're dropping Meteor Swarm on your enemies at 19, like at 17th level, dropping 4 meta magic to cap out that damage to be 120, 240 damage. It comes in handy. It's not impossible, it's just statistically unlikely. So what we're doing is we're spending mana to up our statistics. So without overclocking the curve. Like we don't have let's see, like I don't think we have it. Hold on, let me check, make sure I'm not a liar. Explosive spell pushes people, heightened spell, forces creatures to make saving throws. To resist its effect, you can spend 3 sorcery points to give one target of the spell disadvantage. You can give a number of targets equal to your charisma modifier. How do I feel? Well, I'm a little sick. Why do I feel off? Am I out of control today? A chosen creature. There we go. When you cast a spell that forces a creature to make a saving throw to resist its effect, you can spend 3 sorcery points. No, you just sound under the weather. Yeah, I do. Thank you. Yeah, I have a head cold. It's just a mild thing. It started on last night, and with Lord's grace, it'll be gone tomorrow morning when I'm streaming. So. When you cast a spell that forces a creature to make a saving throw to resist its effects, you can spend 3 sorcery points to give one target of the spell that forces a creature to force a creature to make a saving throw to resist its effects. This is where we need to be. Choose a number of creatures affected to up to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1. A chosen creature has disadvantage on its first saving throw made against the spell. Force spell, you can change a spell that deals damage. You can change the type of damage to force. I'm going to recalibrate some of this because that doesn't feel like force spell. That's not a third. That's not third. We know that's second now. So I'm going to drop that down into the second space. Oh, it is in the second space. I feel better now. So why does heightened spell say 3? It should be 2. Yeah, it is 2. Because here's a third level. Oh, because I shifted it before already, and I just forgot to change the language on it. That's me. That's on me. Yeah, I do sound stuffy, don't I? Yeah, well. It might be COVID, but I'll be fine. When you cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 action, you can spend 2 sorcery points to change the casting time to bonus action for this casting. Terrifying spell, expand spell makes it bigger, maximum damage. Terrifying scares everyone that gets hit by the spell. Force damage is second, and that's cool when you cast a spell. Maybe we should have like unnatural spell or like unnatural damage. Let me go with the entangling spell language now. When you cast a spell with a casting time of 1 action. Damn it, I'm supposed to be doing subclasses, but I got pulled into doing meta magic. When you cast a spell with a casting time of 1 action, you can maintain concentration to delay completing the spell. You can then use a reaction to finish casting the spell at any time. The spell is lost with no effect if you lose concentration. I love delayed spell. Absolutely love it. Convincing spell. When you cast an illusion spell, saving throws and checks to disbelieve the illusion are rolled with disadvantage, which lines up with the heightened spell, giving somebody disadvantage to save against it. But since it's illusion only, it affects everyone that can see it, which is fairly well aligned with our scaling. Implosive spell. When you cast a spell that deals damage within an area of effect, all creatures damaged by the spell are pulled up to 10 feet towards the effect's point of origin. The creature stops moving if the space it would enter is occupied. Quicken spell, we just talked about that. I can modify implosive spell to use this same charisma modifier language. A chosen creature, blank. Implosive, H-I, yep, okay. And the effect, choose a number of creatures affected, comma. A chosen creature is pulled up to 10 feet towards the effect's point of origin. The creature stops, and we do not need to make a saving throw for this. Push effects do not need mana. Do not need to say, yeah, this does not have a saving throw, so that's good. Charisma modifier, good. Explosive spells going to use the same language. They're pushed away 10 feet as opposed to 10 feet in. When you cast a spell that deals damage within an area of effect, choose a number of creatures. Burp. Affected up to your charisma modifier, minimum 1. A chosen creature is pushed up to 10 feet away from the effect's point of origin. The creature stops moving if the space it would enter is occupied. Additional sorcery options. The following options can be used if desired. Pernicious spell. As a reaction to being targeted by a counter spell or dispel. This is technically not a magic, which is why it's off over here on additional sorcery options. Eschew material components is 2nd level. Like, you get access to the 2nd level because you only get meta magic until 2nd level. You don't get sorcery points until 2nd level, technically. So, eschew material components, magical guidance. When you fail a saving throw, roll again. 2 points. I know that's hack language right now, but seeking spell, which is spend 2 mana when your ability check. When you fail an ability check, you can re-roll it. It's actually an attack roll. Re-roll. Equals.
As a reaction to being targeted by counterspell or dispel magic, you can spend additional mana. Oh, this might not apply anymore. When you count, okay, so let's go look at the rules for counterspell and dispel magic. That's actually really important. So once we figure this out, then we'll start getting into subclasses. Where are we at on time, by the way? I might not actually have time to do that. We're at 40 minutes. So we have a little bit of time. Let's look at counter spell. You attempt to interrupt a creature in the process of casting a spell. The creature makes a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the spell dissipates with no effect. And the action, bonus action, or reaction used to cast it is wasted. If that spell was cast with a spell slot, the slot isn't expended, but it does waste. A scroll is gone, or like your racial free teleport is gone, all that stuff. And so that means that we're going to be able to, it's a Constitution saving throw. So let's go back to counter spell. Counter equals con save to cast. Dispel equals dispel magic. I like that change, by the way. I think that's really good. Because that very simple language of I do a reaction and now they have to make a saving throw or lose their spell or whatever they're trying to do. That's something that you can bring into a mage killer martial character. So it's like if I hit you, I can spend a point of like 2 points of mana, and if you I now have to make a saving throw, and it's only 2 mana instead of 3 because you have to make an attack roll as like an opportunity attack. Like if somebody casting spell within reach of my weapon, I can make an opportunity attack against them by spending 2 mana. If I hit, they have to make a Constitution saving throw. And if they succeed, they're fine, whatever. If I miss the attack, I get my mana back. It's because I didn't actually make them, like the spell, you spend 3 mana, they automatically have to make the saving throw. With a counter attack, that's what the power is called, counter attack. The counter attack could fail, so you might actually miss and thus not be able to actually disrupt their magic. So it costs less, and if you miss the attack, you refund the mana. But if they hit, they make their saving throw, and then you're done because you did the thing. So you're spending 2 mana for the opportunity to hit them and disrupt their magic if you do. This guarantees that you'll hit them with it, and they have to make a saving throw. So, Dispel Magic, new 2024 version. God, I sound worse than I did when I started, didn't I? Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any ongoing spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each ongoing spell of level 4 or higher, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability, DC 10 plus the level of spell. On a successful check, the spell ends. You automatically end a spell on a target if the spell's level is equal to or less than the level of spell slot you use. On any ongoing spell, level 3 or low automatically ends. For each ongoing spell, and spell specifically, not just like some sort of an effect. Interesting. Did Legacy specify spell, or was it any magic effect? Now I'm interested. Or magical effect. Any ongoing spell. Yeah, Dispel Magic now only affects spells. It does not affect ongoing magical effects. Otherwise, it would have kept that language. Oh, no, wait. I'm blind. Magical effect. I don't know how I didn't see that. Okay, great. So, yeah, works the same. Okay, cool. So this simplifies Pernicious. As a reaction to being targeted by counter magic. By counter spell. That's what we're going to... As a reaction to being targeted by counter spell, You can spend additional mana up to your max sorcery limit to increase the saving throw. You can spend additional mana. Oh, this spell magic would cancel that too. How do I want to word that? As a reaction to be targeted by a counter spell, you can spend additional mana up to your max sorcery limit to increase your Constitution saving throw by the amount spent. As a reaction to being targeted by Dispel Magic. Hey, Zona, how you doing? Oh, shit, can you not see that? That could just be... Oh, wait. It's... God damn it. I can't believe this has been concealed the entire fucking episode and I didn't catch that. God damn it. So fucking dumb. God, thank you, Zona. Because, yeah, the reason is because I'm stupid. The reason is I'm stupid and I had my orders stacked wrong. Oh my god, thank you so much. What a fucking waste of time. Oh man. Pernicious spell. As a reaction to being targeted by a counter spell. Okay. As a reaction to being targeted by you being targeted, right? Is that how that works? Thanks, Zona. Jesus. Jeez, man. Choose one creature, object, or magical effect. Choose one creature when you are targeted. Yeah, as a reaction to being targeted by Dispel Magic, you can spend additional mana up to your max sorcery limit to increase the level of spell effects by the amount expended. Because the word is expended now. Alright, well, since all that shit was covered all this time, let's go back and revisit our magic table since you guys didn't actually get to see how this table lays out. You got your 4/5, and I gave them a 7th cantrip at 9th level. They gain 4 at first. 3 levels later, they get another one. 6 levels later, they get another one. So 9 levels later, they get another one as well, and they cap at 7. We have the same 10th level spell slot for Wish. That's when you get access to Wish, and then at 20th level, you can start doing the weird stuff with the Wish. We have Arcane Apotheosis, which we need to get back to. And then you have your max sorcery limit you gain sorcery at 2nd level, so it's a half casting progression 2, like the Paladin and the Ranger used to, right? 2, 5, 9, 13, 17. This is the amount of mana that you can spend on top of casting the spell. This is the amount of mana that you can spend to add on using meta magic. And here is your list of meta magic powers. They have anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 mana costs. So at 17th level, I could use Maximize Spell and like Transmuted Spell at the same time. Transmuted Spell is when you cast a spell that deals damage, you can change the type to one of these listed: cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage. So I could make a fireball a lightning ball, and I could maximize the damage so it deals 100% without having to roll dice. That would cost me 5 extra mana if I wanted to do that, on top of, say, the Fireball, which is a 3rd level spell. Using the laws of math, it's 3 mana plus 5 mana. It would cost me 8 mana to do that. But at 17th level, I'm rocking a solid 82 points of mana because we integrate the 1 to 20. Like at 20th level for full casters is 80 mana, half casters is 40, and the Knights and Tricksters get 20. But the Sorcerer gets 20 points on top of that for their sorcery points. So we're just integrating the sorcery points into the mana pool, so they have 100, which means that they get to stack their mana on faster even at lower levels. So mana pool 3+. We're starting them at 3 mana because they have less spells that they know than other casters do. So it's a pretty smooth progression. It's not quite intuitive, but the numbers kind of line. I mean, you see a pattern there: 1 6 1 6 1 6. They're basically gaining 5 mana per fucking level. It's pretty intense. So hey, what's up? Yeah, right on, man. Spooky fire. Yeah, exactly. If the damage didn't scare you, here, let me turn it up a little bit for you. So here, I'll leave this here for a second so you can pause and reflect on the glory of what these are, if you wish. 1 2 3 4. Distance spell. When you cast a spell that has a range of 5 feet or greater, you can spend 1 sorcery point to double the range of the spell. When you cast a spell that has a range of touch, you can spend 1 sorcery point to make the range of the spell 30 feet instead. You know what? No! We're going to do this instead. Make the range of the spell 5 feet. You can spend 2 sorcery points to increase the range of a touch spell to 10 feet. There. Let Bob be your uncle. There. Oof. Ugh, it's wrapping weird. That means I want to trim text someplace. Can I possibly do that? When you cast a spell that deals damage, creatures affected make a wisdom saving throw or are blinded. They can make a saving throw at the end of each of their turns to end this effect. We have found out through testing with martial powers that blinding effects are second level powers. So we're going to take this down to blinding. This is worth our time. And we just finished doing the coding for targeting multiple targets. That must be respected. So let's go down to here. Where'd my mouse go? There it is. I'm so blind I lose my mouse sometimes. I have to go off here because I lose that little line sometimes. So I have to come back over here to get the little white mouse. Yeah, lifelink is fucking cool, man. I love lifelink. That is such good shit. The lifelink strike is great because you deal extra damage, and the extra damage that you deal with the lifelink gives you temporary hit points. It's a great temporary hit points is such a fucking great mechanic because it doesn't ever exceed itself. Like you have to get a more powerful effect because they don't stack, they overlap or replace, right? So if I have 6 now and then I roll and I only do 5 points and I still have 6 temporary, I don't gain any more temporary hit points. It's kind of like a lost opportunity. It's like when you have something that gives you temporary hit points, you want to dive into battle and soak it. Otherwise, it just becomes a nice like a nice energy shield for your character to hold on to. So, good shit, though. Let's go down here and look at this. So, when you cast a spell that deals damage, choose a number of creatures affected, a chosen creature, something. When you cast a spell that deals damage, choose a number of creatures affected up to your charisma mod for a minimum of 1. A chosen creature. Chosen creatures make... That's probably the right language. Chosen creatures make a wisdom saving throw or are blinded. They can make a saving throw at the end of each of their turns to end this effect. There. That's good. Lifelink. We made. Did we make Lifelink second rank in martial powers, or is it still first? Now I'm just curious. Let's grab this real quick. Oof, we're almost out of time. That is okay, because I got the rest of my life to get this shit done. Assuming the Lord doesn't take me sooner than later, we'll get it all in. Let's go back up top here, and we'll drop down. Let's go to our strikes. Yeah, we made Life-Stealing Strike second rank here. And that was because when you cast a spell that deals damage, you can gain 1d6 temporary hit points for each additional point of mana you spend this way, up to your maximum sorcery limit. Technically, that should really... The reason I made it second rank here is because it deals necrotic or radiant damage, and it's dealing a point of damage already in addition, and then it gives you temporary hit points. That's damage that's difficult to resist. You're dealing more damage than you normally would, and you're getting temporary hit points as a result of it. That's three things that you're getting as a modifier for 1 point. That's too efficient. So we made it a minimum of spending 2 mana, but that also means that you're going to automatically roll 2 dice and add those results. So by the time you get access to life stealing as a martial character, it's really strong. Prior to that, we have Rally. And Rally is a bonus action, or an action. You can actually do it twice in the same round if you want to, as an action and a bonus action, targeting yourself or somebody else and another person or whatever combination that you want. But the maneuver is called Rally, and it's when you and you and one ally you can see gain a number of temporary hit points equal to the total of 1 power die rolled for each point of mana spent. And at first level, it's a d6. So that's 1 point that you get. And you and your ally are both getting up to d6. It's not a lot, but at first level it's not much. But I think that's efficient enough. But being able, because you can spam and you can create free mana and spam it. I think that life stealing strike, it needs to be second rank. But on the sorcerer, it's not, you're not actually adding any damage. You're already spending mana to do damage, or it's a cantrip, whatever. But it's 1 point to get d6 hit points. There's no other kicker effects or modifiers. You're already doing the kicker effects with your ability on top of it. That's a big difference between why those two things have a different level. So anyway, I needed to convince you guys. But these are the reasons, these are the design, I should probably tell these things because that's why I make the design decisions that I make. That creates the results that we have, which is why it's a really well-balanced game, because there's a lot of internal logic that remains consistent in the amount of advantages or benefits that you're gaining from different abilities. So this gives me a Dragon Ball vibe. Because Dragon Ball feels very, very much like Sorcerers. Like Dragon Ball is like a sorcerer with a couple levels of monk, right? And they're using they're just diving to Steel Strike, or using Shadow Blade, but facing it forcing a weapon attack. It's Sorcerer is very DBZ. Always has been, I think. So, but yeah, I love that because it's this is now creating a very different niche than what the wizard, the sorcerer, the wizard, the warlock, as arcanists, they feel incredibly different now. And even the cleric, the druid, and the wizard, none of them feel like the sorcerer does, because you can do all this shit with a cantrip. So I hit you with Ray of Frost, and then I can dump all this shit on top of you. with it. So like I could literally take all of the spells I know, like all my prepared spells, and I could just make them meta magic. I actually don't know how many meta magic we have at this point, so let me see if that's actually true. Because we get 25, prepared by 20th level. So, oh my god, and you get the free bonus spells from your subclass. So let's see how many meta magics there are, because you could just end up with just the bonus spells that you get from your subclass and the rest of it's meta magic, which is fucking cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I'm going to go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We're short 1 meta magic. That's we used to have 24. When we had 24, this was perfect, but I need to find an extra meta magic so you could literally just, I want you to be able to take all of your prepared spells and make them meta magic and just dump them into cantrips if you want. But you get your 10 free bonus spells from your subclass. If you're playing Ravnica or Strixhaven, you get 10 more spells from your background. And then you can just dump them all into meta magic. Oh, I fucking love this thing, man. We'll find another meta magic laying around somewhere. Let's see. Let's see. Oh shit, I'm down to a minute. Where am I at on my time? An hour. I got another 20 minutes. I actually need to do a double check here real quick. Let me check my world and see what I've got going on over here real quick. Hold on. No, okay, I've got 20 minutes. So my alarm is about to pop in under a minute. I'm going to, oops, looks like I got caught up on my shit. Oh no! I've got a heating pad here and it's caught up in the wheels of my chair and it's pulling everything around. This is inappropriate. Oh. Turn them on. All right. Mischief managed. We are still live, right? I didn't accidentally no, I didn't. I can still see you. Cool. Spelling of confusion. Is that a joke? Because I don't get it. What are you talking about? Let's see. Oh, I see. You're suggesting an additional meta magic so we can get to 25. God bless you. Thank you. There's the fear effect. I see what you're saying. Confusing spell. That's what you would call it if we were to go about that. Yeah. You see a little Ha! Nice. Yeah. I certainly got. Yeah. I hit myself in my own confusion. Let's see. Twin spell. Let's look at that to make sure we're still jiving. When you cast a spell that targets only one creature and doesn't have a range itself, you can spend a number of sorcery points equal to the spell's level to target a second creature in range with the same spell. 1 sorcery point if the spell is a cantrip. To be eligible, a spell must be incapable of targeting more than one creature at the spell's current level. For example, Magic Missile and Scorching Ray aren't eligible, but Ray of Frost and Chromatic Orb are. The way that they reworded Twin Spell is that you can spend Meta Magic instead of a higher spell slot to be able to increase the number of targets if upcasting a spell would increase the number of targets. But there's very few spells that actually do that. So we are going back to the old manner But again, with the way that the system progresses, that means at second level you could only use that with a cantrip or a first level spell, and you wouldn't be able to do it with a second level spell until fifth level, because this is your meta magic cap. So you wouldn't, and that also means that you wouldn't be able to do this. Like at 17th level, you'd only be able to do it with up to a 5th level spell. And at 13th level, only a 4th. Like, this is really curbing the impact of, like, how soon you can use twin spells. So, like, Disintegrate is a 6th level spell. It's out of range. You just simply can't twin Disintegrate. It's too powerful. So, there's that. We tentatively need an additional meta magic, but I do not feel that is how we should spend the remainder of our design time today. I want to go look at innate sorcery again, and sorcery incarnate, and then arcane apotheosis. So let's spend the time that we have together today that way, shan't we? I'm gonna open that back up. Let's go to here. Here we are. Now I can fold all that stuff up. There. Cheers. Let's go to... Of course, they don't have an asterisk. These used to be hyperlinks, so you could just drop down to them, and they don't... I am not happy with how this website is being maintained. They want people to pay for access to this website. And they just need to fucking do better to be able to earn people's money. Otherwise, they're going to start losing people. Quite frankly. Professional opinion. Spellcasting, get out of that. Font of innate sorcery. There we go. An event in your past life is blah, 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 blah. As a bonus action, you can unleash that magic for 1 minute, during which you can gain the following benefits. You gain rage. The spell DC of your sorcery spells increased by 1. It never gets better than this. The whole DC of your sorcery spells increases by 1. Wow. What an amazing fucking power. And you have advantage on attack rolls of sorcery spells that you cast. I do like that. That is a good power. You can use this feature twice and regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest. I have words about that, but I think I already have words about that. Let's see what we did to it already. I'm definitely going to restructure this. I need to push the meta magics down lower in the list, because right now it's just in the middle of the class features and it feels wrong. As a bonus action, you can unleash the magic coursing through you for 1 minute, during which you gain the following benefits. The spell save DC of your sorcery spells increases by 1. The amount increases as you... we're going to word that... this is level 1. Everything else is gaining mana at first level. I kind of feel like I should give you sorcery points at first level too. That would be spellcasting, innate sorcery, and meta magic at first level, and you get nothing at second. No, this is the right way. We're good. You have advantage on attack rolls of sorcery spells you cast. The spell save DC of your sorcery spells increases by 1. At later levels, this bonus increases equal to your max sorcery limit. See, now that's good. +2 at 5, +3 at 9, 13th is 4, and at 17th level it's a +5. It's almost like a paladin's aura but backwards. So you can use this feature twice, and you regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest. Alternatively, you can expend 2 mana to regain 1 use. Channel Divinity, Druid Wild Shaping,
Barbarian Rage. All of these things require 2 mana. Yeah, you seem a little confused. Right on. Is that true? Was that true? Is Barbarian? Is it 2 mana for Barbarian, or did I make it only 1? I think it's 2. Let's find out if that's true. Drop down here. Channeling, new class feature, Primal Stamina. Bonus action, you sacrifice any number of hit point dice up to your max rank of power gain as a barbarian to regain a number of mana equal to the dice sacrificed. Primal skills, you gain a proficiency in additional skills. In addition, while Rage is active, you can currently channel your attempt certain tasks, blah, blah, blah. Brutal power, you can choose to forego rolling with advantage while using reckless attack. In addition, you can expend a use of Rage to regain 1 point of mana, and you can expend any amount of mana to regain an equal number of spent Rage. Okay, well, it's first level, so 1 point at first level, that's fine. But the Cleric and the Druid, their second level Divine Sorcery, their Wild Shape, and their Channel Divinity cost 2 mana. And the Paladin's Channel Divinity costs 2 mana. So the Sorceress Rage costing 2 mana is appropriately flavored. So I'm okay with I'm okay with Rage only being 1 point, because you should never have to run out of Rages. So being that at most a barbarian is going to have 20 mana, it's kind of on a, I mean, you're not going to spend all on Rage, but you could if you wanted to. And alternatively, you can expend 2 mana to regain 1 use. Okay, I'm good with that. Innate Sorcery, and then we have Sorcery Incarnate. If you have no uses of Innate Sorcery left, you can use it. If you spend if you expend 2 sorcery points, then you can bonus action activate it. Ha ha ha. In addition, while your Innate Sorcery feature is active, you can use up to 2 of your meta magic options at once. Well, obviously we've already gotten past that point, because at 5th level we can do that instead of what they're offering here at 7th. So, whatever. That cracks my shit up. When you finish a short rest, you regain expended sorcery points, but no more than a number equal to half your sorcery level. Did I get rid of Sorcerer's Restoration? Because I do not think they need it. Yeah, we remove that. If you remove something from the list, it no longer affects it does not apply for the character. And this guy, he gets 100 mana over the course of 20 levels. He does not need the sorcery points back, because it's part of your overall mana pool. And the mana pool is so flexible that you can just burn small things like all fucking day. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, huh? But no more than a number equal to half your sorcery level rounded down. Once per day. So this gives you up to 10 mana once per day. Is there additional kickers to that? Let's look at it. Sorcery Incarnate. We already overclocked this, so this isn't necessary. If you have no uses of Innate Sorcery left, you can get more back. So what did we do with Sorcerers? Oh, yeah, we did something with it. While your Innate Sorcery feature is active, at the end of 1 minute duration, you can choose to extend the duration by expending 1 mana and maintaining concentration on it. The effect ends when you choose to, or you lose concentration. There you go. In addition, if you have no uses of Innate Sorcery left, oh, that's where I put it. I put it here at 7th level because they get it at 7th level. Do I want to? Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's do that. I'll go ahead and take this back. Silly me. I'd forgotten I knew that already. Epic Boon, Arcane Apotheosis. Your Innate Sorcery is now permanent. You no longer need to activate it or maintain concentration. Ooh. That is true. I had at one point increased the sorcerer limit to 10.
At 20th level, that'd be a plus 10 to your DC. And it would allow you to do 10 mana worth of meta magic all at the same time. That's pretty thick. I don't. You know what? Epic Wish is good. Wish 10th level upcasting is good. I don't think I actually need that anymore.
I don't think we need that. Making the sorcery incarnate permanent. That's pretty fucking good. So I think I can be content with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's do this.
Innate Sorcery is level 1. We have 3 mana at level 1. At later levels, you can use this feature twice and regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest.
Hold on. Okay. LeFou, I'm afraid I've been thinking. It's a dangerous pastime, I know.
But the old man is Belle's father, and his sanity's only so-so. So, we get Sorcery Incarnate. Oh, Sorcerer's Restoration comes in at 5. And then Sorcery Incarnate at 7. LeFou, I'm having a thought. I'm having a thought.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, hold on.
Oh, it's because they get it at first level. That's why that's happening. I get it. I really, really get it. Oh, good pop. Let's see.
Damn it! What I'm doing, the reason my brain is burning here, is because the thought is, I can burn my innate sorcery to gain free mana. That satisfies the sorcery recovery and gives us something different to do with the 7th level enhanced sorcery incarnate. But the problem is that I made it permanent down here, so that basically, I don't know, you either wouldn't be able to get it, or you'd still have 2 uses of it. You just don't need to use those. You just don't need to use those uses anymore. It's now permanently. You no longer need to activate it or maintain concentration. So those, if I do that, those 2 uses that you have are worthless, right? But if we were to make it that, that's it. That's it. That's where this should be. Okay, cool. Give me a second. Hold on. Let's get into meta magic. Okay, so what we're gonna do now instead is, in addition, when you expend your, the fuck is it called? Innate sorcery? You have no uses of innate sorcery left. You can use it if you spend. If you expend. Now, what's the wording in the player's handbook? Is the wording in the player's handbook that you regain it? Or is that you spend 2 mana to have use of it? In addition, while your innate sorcery feature is active, you can use up to 2 uses of meta magic options at once. If you have no uses of innate sorcery left, you can use it if you spend 2 sorcery points when you take the bonus action to activate it. Innate sorcery. You can unleash that magic for 1 minute. Spell blah 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 blah. You can use this feature twice, and you regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest. Sorcerer's Restoration regains expended sorcery points. If you have no uses of innate sorcery left, this is the proper wording. When you take the bonus action to activate it. Your innate sorcery is now permanent. You no longer need to activate it or maintain concentration. In addition, when you expend, you can now expend the 2 uses of innate sorcery to regain 5 mana with each use. As an action. So there's no misunderstanding about the bonus action. You spend the 2 points as part of the bonus action to activate your innate sorcery, and at 20th level, as an action, you can expend the 2 uses of innate. You can expend your innate sorcery You can expend the 2 uses of, yeah, all right, that's my day. 2 uses of, you can now expend the 2 uses of innate sorcery to regain 5 mana with each use. But you don't get that until 20th level, so that kind of sucks. But that's the only way. That's actually the only way we can do it, because at earlier levels, let's do this instead. In addition, when your innate sorcery feature is active at the end of the 1 minute duration, you can choose to extend the duration by expending 1 mana and maintaining concentration on it. The effect ends when you choose, and of course we're using the stacking concentration. So at 7th level, your max spell level is 4, so you can maintain 4 mana worth of spell effects, and this counts as one of them. So you could sustain your sorcery incarnate and sustain, like, say, haste at the same time. 3 haste, 1 incarnate, that's 4 total, which you can do as a 7th level sorcerer. But that makes your concentration DC 14. And for the privilege of being able to stack spells effects like this, anytime you make a saving throw, you weigh it against your concentration. So if I have to make a dexterity saving throw to prevent damage from the fireball,
and the fireball's DC is 12, and I roll a 13, and the damage of the fireball is only, say, 20 points of damage, half of that damage is 10, right? So the damage DC from the fireball would be a concentration check, be a concentration saving throw of 10, but with the stacking concentration attrition effects, you're maintaining 4 points of mana, so you would then have a DC of 14. If you rolled a 13 on your dexterity saving throw, you'll have successfully saved against the fireball, taking only 10 points of damage, but that was less than 14. So you lose all your spells, and you would lose your innate sorcery, because the total amount of mana that you were maintaining was 4, which is 10 plus 4 equals a DC of 14. Any saving throw that you make while you're maintaining concentration has to beat your concentration DC, or the spells are dumped, which is a perfect solution to the conjure animals and the sorcerer's glory, or whatever the fuck that spell is called that wizards get. The one that deals area of effect damage around you, like 2d8 plus another d8 per level of spell, right? That's fucking insane damage. But all I have to do is ding you with an acid spray, and now you have to make a constitution saving throw or take half damage. The damage you're going to take is only 2 points of damage, because there's only a d6 acid spray. But if you're maintaining a 7th level, you're maintaining a 5th level conjure animal, your DC is now 15. So every time I hit you with a constitution, strength, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, if you don't roll at least a 15, you just lost that. So as a DM, my job is to make combat complicated enough that you have interesting things happening on the front line, and you've got long range stuff that can ding your casters with shit tests. You're constantly shit testing your spellcasters to see if they can maintain their concentration or not. And the Warcaster feat only gives you advantage on your Constitution saving throw against damage taken. It doesn't do shit if I ding you with an acid spray, or it doesn't do shit if I trip you, and you have to make a saving throw to avoid being tripped. Like literally anything that I can do, like grapple. If I grapple you, you have to make a saving throw. The act of me grappling you can make you fail your concentration, which means that if I grapple you and you shit your grapple, you're losing all of your spells, which suddenly makes grappling casters really fucking dangerous. So a good strategy is for the monk to get on the back line and start grappling people, more so than stunning them. For them to be able to break out of that grapple, they have to succeed as a dexterity or a strength saving throw. And if your grapple DC is really high, chances are they're not going to get out of the grapple, and they're just wasting spell time if they instead use their turn to cast a spell. Like using this attrition system that I have, it's a real humbler to casters. Like casters have to be really fucking careful about where they stand, how targetable they are, having defenders around them to take hits for them, like the interpose option to take the hit for your ally, super fucking valuable. If your caster is like has a bunch of buffs on right now, or like has like half the team on haste, and as a result, if they lose that haste, everyone on the team is stunned, right? Well, you better make sure that guy doesn't lose his concentration. So like your paladin might become a midline fighter just to intercept hits coming in at your caster who's holding all this concentration shit. So anyway, it's a really fun dynamic, and it works really well from level 1 all the way to level 20, because the mana system lets you cast spells over and over and over again. If you're like maintaining concentration on a spell, it's almost like you're cheating, because you don't have to spend any mana to keep that spell up for however long you can keep it up and running. The shit testing, this attrition system, forces you to potentially have to cast that spell again to gain the value out of that spell over and over again. Like spike growth causing you trouble with grappling, toss them into the spike growth and see if they can survive the Constitution saving throw that they need to be able to for the damage that they're taking. Anyway, so there's that, and I think I am out of time. So, yep, I will consider this a massive success. Concentration of the effect ends when you choose to lose it. In addition, I don't know how to stack all this stuff up appropriately, but as an action, you can now expend uses of innate sorcery to regain mana equal to your max sorcery limit period. At level 7, your max sorcery limit is 2. There. Yeah, right on, man. So this is good. So by the time you get to 20th, this literally lines up perfectly with half your levels. At 7th level, you would get you get this twice. At 8th, let's go with 8th level. At 8th level, you still have a second. You're still second. Only 2 points of mastery. So if you were to spend both of them to regain mana, you would get 4 mana back, which is half of 8. If at 9th level, your max sorcery limit increases to 3. So at 10th level, if you spend both of them, you would get 6 points back. So it should be 5. But anyway, you're burning sorcery incarnates. But yeah, this works. And then 20 by itself is good in that it's permanently on. And now you have these 2 things laying around that you no longer need. So you may as well burn them to get more mana. Ah, that's so fucking perfect. That is so fucking perfect. And at any time, you may as well just burn these 2 sorceries. You may as well just burn them to get mana, and then just burn 2 mana every time that you use the sorcery thing. You may as well just do that. Get your mana, and then just burn sorcery points. Just burn mana whenever you want to turn it on. Until it's permanent at 20th level, then you don't have to burn mana anymore. Oh, fuck! That's so good. That is so good. This is so good. All right, so my original intention was to do subclasses, but we just never got around to it. So when we come back and visit Spellpoint Sorcerers again, I think I'll make Friday a Spellpoint Sorcerer day just in general. So this feels really good. I like doing this. Tomorrow, we're going to work on the Wizard. So come back tomorrow morning. We'll play with the Wizard, and we're going to look at Beckme experience points, converting gold pieces into experience points for the Martial Powers playtest mega dungeon that we run through, so that the creatures don't give you any experience points. The treasure that you collect does. So in a playtest environment, I can have you fight as many monsters as you want, disarm as many traps as you want, fuck around with as many puzzles and wards as you want, burning mana and action economy as you do, but none of it's worth experience points unless you can find treasure. So when I build the mega dungeon, I'll put enough treasure in there to be like maybe twice the amount of experience points that you need to get to the next level, knowing that you're probably going to want to keep some of that treasure for you to equip gear. You leave anytime that you want. You can't gain experience points while you're in a dungeon. You can't spend the money while you're in the dungeon. You have to leave and then spend the loot either on purchasing experience points or using magic gear or whatever. So that's our agenda for tomorrow morning. That'll be at 9 a.m. at Seattle time, noon for the East Coast, and that will be 18 hours, a little less than 18 hours from now. So, yep. Sorry. Later, guys. Hey, Chronic, Zona, thank you both so much for being here. Zona, both of you, thanks for the input. Zona, thank you for letting me know that the screen was blocked, because I had no idea. And I really want people to be able to see this stuff while we're building it. So, bless you. Thank you both. And anyone out there in La La Land, like, subscribe, bell icon, blah, blah, blah. I'll see you tomorrow.